My goodness, YouTube just shut down the video that the previous live session that we are having. So let me just quickly take this link and share with everyone that we are live again. Hi there. Just quickly take this link and share with everyone that we are live again. Hi there. Just quickly take this link and share. Hi. YouTube just shut me out. I don't know why. Welcome back, please. Welcome back. Let me put it out again that we are live. For some reason, I just got shut out and I lost you guys. But thank you very much for joining again. StreamYard wouldn't let me use their platform for a reason best known to them. They were just misbehaving. And I decided to use YouTube to stream live, but it is what it is. I guess all these platforms have their technical issues, so none of them is guaranteed completely. I'm just putting this out on Facebook so that more people can join. Alright, so welcome back. Let's continue like nothing happened. Alright, that's what I'm saying. I mean, fear of failure. What if it doesn't go well? What's the worst that can happen? That's the question I always ask myself, and it's helped me to be productive, really. Because when I think of all the things that can possibly go wrong, and I imbibe them, I won't be able to do anything. Just what I was saying before the live stream got shut down. So you are at the you are at the roof, or at the tip, at the edge of the cliff, and you're about to jump. What if I fall down? What if I break my neck? What if I die? So I remember when I wanted to launch my YouTube here, this conversation here on YouTube, I remember vividly that day on the 31st of March, after 3 months of not hosting this conversation on Facebook. I was like, what is the worst that could happen? Because I had gotten to that point where I was at my rock bottom, like nothing would move me anymore. I told my followers, hey, I'm launching my talk show on YouTube, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you show up, it's fine. If you don't show up, it's fine. I have decided that I'm going to show up regardless. So I started on YouTube. I had so many what ifs, but I did it anyway. So you are not the one that will be failing. So even if that conversation didn't, even if that launch didn't work as I had planned, it is not me that would have failed. It would have been what I planned to do. So many billionaires today, so many people that we see that are high up there, they have failed at several things. A lot of the things that they have done before now have failed. So imagine if they made their failures their identities, they wouldn't be where they are today. Because for so many of us, once we see a no, or once we see something that looks like a failure, we are done for that whole day. We can't even do anything. We can't eat. Some of us even transfer the aggression on the people that are around us, and it doesn't make sense. So when you are at that point where you need to, I don't know if you can see me. Can you still hear me, please? What happened before just happened now. My phone blacked out. Can you still see me, please? Okay, you can still see me, so we're still on track. Oh my goodness. All right, so when you're at that point where you are afraid of what can happen, ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? What is the worst? And even if this thing fails, I am not the one that fails. I will learn the lessons that I need to learn. So yeah, I just remember that I was talking about Durotoye in an interview. She was asked, what are your failures? What can you recount your failures? And she was like, failures? Me? I've not failed. I cannot fail. But I have done several things that failed. I have put my hand in several businesses that didn't work. And then she counted a couple of things that she did before now that didn't work. And she was like, I wasn't the one that failed. It was these businesses that failed, not me. What you do fail. So reframing your mindset to, separating your identity from what you do, and framing your mindset and your outlook at failure can help you overcome this self-sabotage that is caused by fear of failure. Okay, some people don't even launch at all because of what if it fails, and it's not helping. It's not a helpful mindset to have. If you really want to live the life of your dreams, you have to overcome that. Okay, the next thing is the fear of success. I think this is the fear that I have. I'm being very honest here. I'm afraid of getting too successful. And I didn't say I was. I am afraid of getting too successful. I'm afraid of making money. I'm afraid. That is why you don't see me put out paid products on my platform. But I'm working towards getting better. Okay? I'm afraid of success. I'm afraid of getting high up there. I want to fly. I'm flying, but I'm not flying as much as I should, because I'm afraid of what will happen if I launch all out, if I go all the way in. So there is this poem that someone sent to me, Roll the Dice, by Chris. I don't remember the other name. And it says, if you must do it, go all the way in. And I started listening to that poem recently, and it's helping me. If you must do it, go all the way in. I'm afraid of people knowing me too much. I'm afraid of having too much money in my bank account. I'm afraid of getting high up there, but I want to. And so because I'm afraid of being there, I don't do some things that can get me there. I'm consciously, not unconsciously, I am consciously stopping myself. And I teach people to let your light shine so bright, but I'm not doing that. People will say like, but you are shining. I can tell you for free that this is the least I can shine. The least, I mean, this is the dimmest my light can be. The dimmest. Because I'm afraid of what is going to happen if I really shine. Like, I'm afraid of the publicity and the recognition that I want to do something. I'm about to go, but I stopped myself. A mentor of mine told me, Chinaza, you are a lioness, but you behave like a gazelle. You behave like a gazelle. That when on days when you feel like your lion self, you do things, but away from that day, you go back to your gazelle self. Your gazelle self, a gazelle only worries that it might be food for a predator, but a lion thinks of what is for supper. What other thing can I do? Because it's the king. Oh my goodness. Can you even still hear me? Can you still hear me? Please let me know. Don't tell me I've been cut out. Can you hear me, please? Okay, you can hear me. I don't know why YouTube is doing this. I have no idea. So it was like you're a lioness and you know it, but you're not stepping into your full power as a lioness. You shuffle between your gazelle self and your lioness self, and it's so true. I don't know who is there. This is a very personal thing that I just shared with you, but I have to share it because I don't know who is watching that might be in my shoe. You are afraid of what will happen if you go all the way in. And I ask myself, Nazar, you're not even doing so much and you have these kinds of results. Imagine what will happen if you decide now to go all the way in, to launch to launch all out. Imagine what will happen. And the possibility, the prospect is overwhelming for me. And I've been self-sabotaging because of that. So for any one of you here listening to me, it is time to do what? Go all the way in. It is time to go all the way in. Because what's the best that can happen? What is the best that can happen? See, this fear of success is a programming. It's a programming of, do I even deserve this amount of recognition and success? And one thing that I'm very grateful for is that I'm very self-aware. Oh, I'm very self-aware. And if you must deal with self-sabotage, you must be very self-aware. I'm very my therapist was like, you know these things already. You know so much about yourself. And I say, yes. I'll tell her what the problem is, and I'll tell her why I think this is a problem. I'll tell her my own contribution to the problem. And she was like, why did I come for therapy? Because I needed help. But I'm so self-aware. These are things you were supposed to be telling me about myself, but I already knew them. I am too self-aware. And I just know that I am the one holding myself back. Nobody. And that the life that I desire is very possible if I can allow myself to launch. Who am I talking to? It is time to go all the way in. It's time to go all out. Like Chineye says, it is time to do what? Scale up. You are stopping yourself from doing certain things because you are afraid of what is going to come out of it. You're afraid of the good things, not even the bad things now, because you've dealt with failure. You're afraid of the good things that you can get from living this life. But are there people who are living that life? Are there people who are successful and still have their morality intact? Are there people who are successful and are having a fulfilling life? If there are, then you can live it too. Stop being in the way of your own success, especially when you know what you can do and how to do it. That was the problem that I had. I knew what I could do. I knew how to do it. I knew in fact, I knew what I didn't want to, what I didn't want in my life. I knew the life that I want for myself. I knew how to get there. I think as I take this step now, I'll just be there watching. And it made me to lose confidence in myself. I talked about it in the previous video. It made me to lose confidence in myself. It made me to doubt myself. It made me to feel stuck. But I'm not stuck because I don't know what to do. But I just can't get myself to do what I need to do. I'm self-sabotaging. You are self-sabotaging. It's different when you don't know what to do. or how you want to get to where you need to get to. But it's a whole different ball game when you know what you need to do and you're not doing it. Oh, you're going to feel you're of all men most miserable. You are of all men most miserable. I hope I've not been cut out. So, self-sabotage can look like a lot of things, and I'm going to briefly explain a couple of the things that I wrote down here. Okay? Okay, you can hear me. That's a relief. These people are just toying with my emotions here. But we keep going. Self-sabotage can be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Self-sabotage can be a self-fulfilling prophecy. How do I mean? So, it comes from negative self-talks and beliefs that you have for yourself or of yourself. I don't even have what it takes to get here. Can I even do this? And so, when you have the chance to do that thing, you don't do it. You are confirming to yourself that you don't have what it takes to do it. So you're fulfilling that prophecy for yourself. Is this making sense? Self-sabotage, it is deadly. Let me read out what I have here. By this, I mean that you do things that confirm your negative beliefs to you, despite aiming for something positive. Self-sabotage. Self-sabotage can be a self-fulfilling prophecy in that you do things that confirm your negative beliefs to you, despite aiming for something positive. You're aiming for something positive, but you already believe that you already have a negative belief about that thing. You believe that you can get there, but then you have a belief about yourself. So self-sabotage looks like doing things that actually confirm that negative belief you have of yourself. And then you'll be like, oh, I said it. How could you expect to even do it? Is it not you again? That is self-sabotage. It looks like a lot of things. Self-sabotage is rooted in counterproductive mindsets, including negativity, disorganization, indecisiveness, and negative self-talk. Perfectionism and imposter syndrome are also forms of self-sabotage. Did you know that? So self-sabotage looks like perfectionism. You always want everything to be perfect. And because nothing can ever be perfect, you're not able to launch. You're not able to put out that book. You're not able to put out that product. You're not able to put out that training because you feel that there's still more that needs to be done. You keep tweaking and tweaking and tweaking and tweaking your project, and it remains in your draft. You don't eventually launch. You are stuck in the planning phase. So let's say you have a timeline for a project, and you keep on trying and trying and trying and planning, looking for ways to get back on track and ensure that it launches out well. But because you're a perfectionist, you keep on tweaking. Something else needs to be done. Something else needs to be done. Look at this one. And I'm like that. I can be like that. But I'm a work in progress. So these days, when I put out an article, when I am writing, because I'm a very spontaneous person, I don't write and keep, write, edit and keep. No, I just write on the go. So when I write and I read once, I'll just post. So I don't know if any of you notices this. Sometimes it is not the same way a post is when I posted it that it will be later on. Why? Because I'm giving room for my weaknesses, because I'm not allowing perfectionism to keep me from sharing what I need to share. So it's when I have posted, sometimes I come back to see, okay, this should have been has and not have. This should have been is or are. Or I should have spaced this one out. If you check my posts about 10 minutes, in the first 10 minutes after I posted something, in the first 10 minutes that I posted something, I must have done about 3 or 4 edits before it gets to the point that I want. But I don't do that correction as a draft, because I'll continue correcting and it will never be good enough to be posted. That is how I combat my own perfectionism. If I have a book that I want to launch, believe me, I can work on a book for a whole year. I have the ability to. And even by the end of that whole year, I still will find something that needs to be done in that book. And so I will not launch it. So I work on the book and I launch it. Then, if I want to reprint, I will edit afresh and print. So those of you that have Who Are You Really, the first edition that was launched in March. Yeah, that was launched in March last week. It had lots of, when I say errors, but I launched it anyways. And when it was time to reprint, I edited it afresh and launched. If I'm going to reprint the next batch, I'm still going to edit, tweak it, and reprint. It gets better along the way. The goal is excellence, not perfection. Okay? The goal is what? Excellence, not perfection. Nothing is ever absolute or perfect. Alright? So self-sabotage looks like procrastination too. Self-sabotage looks like procrastination. I think this is the major. Brother Wilson says, see you all next week. Where are you going to? So I think this is the major symptom or the major look of self-sabotage. You're always procrastinating. You have this plan, but you always have something else. Okay, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. Next week will come. You will still not do it. You push it to next week. After all, tomorrow let it come, Abby. When tomorrow comes, it will be another tomorrow. After all, you did not specify which tomorrow you're talking about. Right? That is self-sabotage. And one of the reasons we self-sabotage by procrastination is you feel overwhelmed by the many things that you need to do. So I have a particular project that I should have done and finished in August, and I didn't, because I was overwhelmed at getting all the information that I needed for that project. Oh, okay. Please rest well, alright? So I didn't launch it. I still haven't done it, but I'm already collating the results that I need. So hopefully by next week I'll be done with it, because I was tired of procrastinating. I was feeling overwhelmed by the many things I needed to do, and so I was just self-sabotaging, procrastinating. When it was time to do it, I would find something else to do instead of doing that particular thing. I told you I could be productive all day without getting anything done. I could be busy all day without being productive. So instead of me to go and start collecting those results, I'll look for something else that will keep me busy that time. You could be watching a movie, or you could be watching a TED Talk. I sleep on TED Talks. Their YouTube channel, I sleep there, I wake up there. And see, it's not bad that I'm watching TED Talks, but I was doing it at the expense of what I needed to do. Do you understand? So procrastination doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing something bad, or that you're sleeping, or that you're playing. No, it means not avoiding what you need to do because you're feeling overwhelmed, or because I wrote another reason here, because you're doubting your abilities of being able to do that thing. Okay, so self-sabotage looks like procrastination, and when you feel the need, the urge, not the need, to procrastinate, what do? Use Mel Robbins' 5-second rule and do it. Just do it. She said when she feels like she doesn't feel like doing something, she just counts from 5 to 1. So she starts counting from 5 to 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And once it is 1, she's out. She just forces herself out of that place that she is and goes to do what she needs to do. Can you still hear me, please? Can you still hear me? So self-sabotage looks like, okay, you can hear me. That's a relief. Always a relief to know that you can hear me until this whole thing is sorted out. Whew. All right. So self-sabotage looks like this. Now this is where I'm going to be a little bit violent, or violent, as we say. It looks like over-familiarity. So you want to run. There's a prize set for you, and you want to run, but you just shot yourself in the foot, and you're looking back to know who shot you. You just carried the gun, removed it from your pocket, and shot yourself in the foot. How do I mean? So you have access to people that can make your life better. You have access to kings, to royalties, to people who have the keys to doors of the opportunities you are looking for. But you have gotten too familiar. If you have not, I just received the good news now. Sorry. If you have not watched my YouTube video on dangers of over familiarity, you should go and watch it. It's very, very insightful. I watch it once in a while. So you have gotten too familiar to the people who should help you, and because of that, you don't learn what you need to learn from them. You joke a lot around them, and for some of you, you lose that access completely because you're not paying attention, or because you've gotten too carried away by the fact that you now see this person as a human being. Overfamiliarity has robbed many people of their blessings, and it shouldn't rob you of yours. All the kings in my life, I know exactly where they are. I know where they are. I know where they are. I don't ever allow my closeness to them to reduce their worth or their value in my eyes. When they are teaching, I pay attention. I don't say finish. No. Over sabi. No, not me. When we go inside, we can play, we can chat, we can talk. But when it's time for me to get and learn what I need to learn from them, I don't let overfamiliarity get in the way. You barely even know that I know these people. Because I understand that regardless of a relationship with a king, he is still a king. Overfamiliarity has made you to stop honoring the people you need to honor. It has made you to joke too much. It has made you to say words that you shouldn't say. It has made you to perform at your lowest capacity because you think that you know this person, and so you don't even have to work too much to impress them. Who told you? Excellence is what is required every single time, because these are the people that will mention your name in rooms where you can't even enter. And if you're not bringing excellence to the table, even though you are close to them, they will not recommend you for opportunities when it is time. Am I making sense? Please, it's very, very important. You are the one shooting yourself in the foot. An opportunity is out, and they're supposed to recommend you, but they are not. Why? Because you are the one that are stopping yourself. You are the village people you are praying against. No village people is disturbing you. Nobody's blowing powder for you. Nobody is using your picture as fan. Nobody. You are the one. You are the one in the way. You are the one. Let me not get started. Self-sabotage looks like being too comfortable for change. Being too comfortable for change. So, you know, humans, we like what is familiar. We like what is common to us, what is natural to us. We like our comfort. We don't even like anything that will disturb us. Someone like me that doesn't like stress. Nobody should stress me, please. But the truth is, change only happens outside your comfort zone. See, I don't like to quote these motivational words because they are now cliches. But they are cliches because they were once held there, because they were so true that everybody started talking about them. So I don't undervalue cliches. If anything, I take them more serious than other deep words or quotes that you see. Change only happens outside your comfort zone. You know the life that you want to live. See, I was watching a talk and the lady says, you know, you need to get to that moment when the pain of your present is greater than the fear of the unknown. I repeat that. You need to get to the point, because many of us, we are afraid of the unknown. We are afraid of change. We don't want change. We don't want discomfort. But you need to get to that point where the pain of your present life, where the discomfort of the life that you are living right now, where the dissatisfaction of the life that you are living right now is bigger and greater than your fear of change and the unknown. Until that equation sign is greater, you will not be able to make a leap or take a leap. You will not be able to take major decisions, life-altering decisions. You like what is familiar. You want to remain where you are. You want to settle for less. Who told you that you can settle for less? You should settle for less. And there's people who are doing well up there, and you want and you're envying them. How dare you? How? It's audacity for me. That I'm coming on here to host this conversation. It takes a lot from me. I was already tired of feeling dissatisfied with my life. I was tired. And so I decided I was going to do something useful. Whether I received support from anybody or not. That is why you still see me here. 30 weeks counting, I'm still here. Is it 30 weeks? Close to 30 weeks now. I'm still here. Every week I show up here. Because the vision for this show is massive. I can't even start sharing it. The pain of discomfort and dissatisfaction, your pain, your anger for poverty, has to be greater than your fear of success. That is the only time you can take a step, a bold step towards living the life that you want to live, or towards achieving your goals. Stop settling for what is familiar or what is comfortable for you. Nothing can be achieved here. Yes, you are told to function from your place of genius, but your place of genius doesn't have to be where you are most comfortable and relaxed. No, you have to constantly walk towards a higher expression of yourself and who you are. And when you're not doing that, see, At any point you feel dissatisfied with your life, I'm going to host a training separately on that, on this. So look forward, maybe later in the year. At any point you feel stuck or dissatisfied with your life, it means that there's something that needs to be done that you're not doing. It means that there is more, and you have to find out what that more is and do it. It means that there are steps you need to be taking. It means that there are things you are doing now that you've outgrown, but you've not chosen to work in your growth. Am I making sense? Self-sabotage looks like staying the same way with the excuse of, oh, this is who I am. This is who I am. This is me. You know, saying, this is the kind of person that I am. It's me. It's how I am. Who told you that this is how you are? Is this the best that you can be? Many of you don't even want to attempt developing yourselves. Many of you. No, that is not how you are. Because how you are is stopping you from moving into the next level of your life. How do I mean? If you are the introverted type, no problem. No problem. But if the people that you need to meet are in physical events, if the people that you need to meet are in physical events, is in that physical are going to be at that physical event that is happening in your city or in a city where you can go, but like it just me, I just don't like meeting people. It's not my thing. Physical events is not my thing. If it was, you see how I'm saying the thing. If it was a virtual meeting now, you'll see me there. But this one, I'm going to be seeing people. How do I go and start walking up to people and start telling them, hi, my name is, I cannot even do it. I can't even imagine it. Shut up. If what you need, if where you want to go requires a different version of you, you evolve. That is why humans, we are dynamic. But many of us think that we are stones. Your identity is not cast in stone. I wrote this sometime on my Facebook page. Your temperament is not cast in stone. You can always evolve. So there is this temperament test site, 16 personalities. I took their tests last year, and I saw my temperament personality. Cool. I took it 6 months after, and I changed. I got a different result. I was expecting to get the same result, but it turned out that I had evolved. I had changed. I had moved from where I was to a different person because I desired growth. And I'm sure that if I should take that test today, I'm going to get a different result. If you're always getting the same result, that means you're not growing now. You're not. Your temperament is not cast in stone. So what you need to do, who do you need to become to access the opportunities that you need to? Where do you need to go to get the information, to hear the conversations that happen around the opportunities that you need to get? Where do you need to be? What rooms do you need to be? Who do you need to meet? Who do you need to connect with? Stop sabotaging your chances at success because of this is who I am. Many of these great people that you know today have had to evolve all through their career, all through their journeys. And me, I don't even want to remain like this by next year. I don't know what I'm going to evolve into, but I'm sure evolving, I'm sure growing in the positive direction. All right? Self-sabotage looks like making excuses. So if I ask you now, where what do you want for your life? You tell me. And then I ask you, what is stopping you from getting that? Tell me is an excuse. I learned this from Tony Robbins. Whatever you tell me is your reason for not living the life that you want to live is an excuse. And if you look at that excuse or that reason, it might seem valid to you, but it doesn't lead to any success. If you look at that excuse or those excuses you might give me, you will see that 80% of them are you laying blame on somebody else, or they are not things that you're responsible for. Meanwhile, success is dependent on you. Might be 10% external influence, but yours is 90%. Your success is 90% what you do, and 10% what is influenced by the external circumstances or variables. Stop giving excuses. Stop making excuses. It's not going to help you in any way. In any way. Alright? Alright, so seems this is telling me that my phone is overheating and it might